All right, well, we're joined now by Wyoming Republican Senator John Barrasso. He serves as chairman of the Senate Republican Conference, so certainly involved in these negotiations. Senator Barrasso, thanks so much for taking the time again this morning.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, let's start on stimulus because this is top of the mind for many Americans. Democrats in the House passed a $3 trillion new stimulus bill in May. This Problem Solvers Caucus is talking about $2 trillion. Many Republicans either don't think it's necessary or are talking about something in the order of several $100 billion. I wonder, from your point of view, why not meet in the middle? Why not meet in the middle somewhere, get some stimulus for the many millions of Americans who are still suffering through this?
Well, and as you know, Jim, Pelosi rejected that bipartisan effort by the problem solvers yesterday. There was a headline today, Pelosi's nervous majority, because so many Democrats are nervous at the position that Nancy Pelosi has taken, which is so far to the left and so excessive. She seems to be fixated on bailing out big cities, sending a blank check to states that have been poorly managed for a long time, and using coronavirus as an excuse to do it.
Well, Senator, as you know, there are Republicans resisting getting close to that figure. Would you vote for a middle ground figure of, say, $2 trillion, get money into the hands of people who need it right now?
I think relief is needed right now, and that's why 52 Republicans last week voted on a major proposal to do the targeted relief that I think people need, which is getting kids back to school so they won't fall further behind and so that parents can go back to work. More money for the Paycheck Protection Plan.
I'm just saying, because you got the Republican position, you got the Democratic position. You need more. You need folks to come together. Otherwise, we won't get to a majority, and folks will just have to wait. I mean, are you willing to compromise? Is my question.
I'm willing to do everything possible in a targeted way to people who are impacted by the coronavirus, and which means the kids in the schools, making sure we have more money for small businesses, for paycheck protection, so people can stay on the payroll, more money for vaccines and tests and for treatment for people with coronavirus. But when you look at Nancy Pelosi's wish list on what they passed, with money for environmental justice and direct checks to illegal immigrants, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I'll give you half of these things, which have nothing to do, Jim, with the coronavirus.
All right. Well, we'll see. Let's hope folks can find some sort of compromise there. You have the advantage of being a doctor. You're on the Foreign Relations Committee and you're on the Environment Committee. So I want to take advantage of all your expertise here, starting with your doctor hat, if I can. You heard the president last night again question the usefulness of masks. I just want to play his answer on that went out to millions of Americans and get your response on the science. Just listen very briefly if you can.
There are a lot of people think the masks are not good. And there are a lot of people that, as an example,
who are those people?
I'll tell you who those people are. Waiters.
You're a doctor. Is there, in fact, any question based on the data that we know today that masks don't help reduce the spread?
Well, I think masks do help reduce the spread. I have my mask right here. I just took it off in front of the camera for the interview. All of our staffs on the Hill are wearing masks. People at home are doing it as well. We know how important it is. We need to do all that we know that we can do to lower the risk of spread. We have made huge progress in the fight against coronavirus, 800,000 tests being done a day. We have the capacity in the hospitals. The number of new cases is going down. The death rate is starting to go down as well. All of these things are in the right way because we are wearing masks and keeping social distance, as well as washing and proper hygiene. I think it's all very important, Jim.
Good to hear that. I hope folks are listening because, listen, it does make a difference. I want to ask you on the environment, if I can. You're chairman of the Environment and Public Works Committee. Again, just because, listen, he's the commander-in-chief. That's why I'm playing these comments to you, and I want to get an answer on the science. Here's what the president said about whether climate change is real.
If we ignore that science and sort of put our head in the sand and think it's all about vegetation management, we're not going to succeed together protecting Californians.
Okay. It'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Well, I don't think science knows, actually.
You're on the Environment Committee based on the science you've read and seen. Is there any question? Is there evidence that the Earth will suddenly cool again?
To me, climate change is real. It is happening. Man is contributing to it. I think we ought to address it through innovation, not drastic, unilateral, immediate actions which will hurt our economy in the United States but won't affect the global problem. I think we need to innovate in ways and get people around the world to use that innovation. And there's a lot of work being done in that, and I'm working in a bipartisan way in the Senate as chairman of the Environment and Public Works Committee to accomplish it.
Let's keep talking about it. It's an important issue. Finally, you're on the Foreign Relations Committee. As you and I have talked about, I spent years covering the Middle East. It's a remarkable development to have Israel making peace formally with countries that Bahrain, United Arab Emirates. Tell us, in your view, the significance of these decisions for the region and also for America's national security.
Well, for both reasons, I think this is a huge development, this signing yesterday at the White House. I mean, this really is the art of the deal to bring Israel together with the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. Presidents in the past could not accomplish this, and this goes Republican as well as Democrat administrations over the years. President Trump was able to get it done, and I think in terms of stability in the Middle East, it is a very big deal. In terms of isolating Iran, it's a very big deal. And in terms of maybe the United States not having to commit forces overseas in the future, I think it is also very, very important. A big day, a global peace, and a big day for America yesterday at the White House.
Right, and one that a lot of folks didn't expect. Well, Senator and Dr. Barrasso, you're always welcome on this broadcast. Thanks very much.
Thanks for having me, Jim.